Good morning, children. This is English video session for class 10. The book which we are doing now is First Flight, and the topic is From the Diary of Annie Frank. We are continuing from where we stopped. This is Saturday 20, that is June 1942, the diary entry of Annie Frank. So this entry was made in 1942 when Annie Frank was in um, Germany, and she's writing it in her birthday gift, that is her diary. Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quacking in its boat. What is quacking in its boat? Making it though they're shivering with fear whether they will be promoted to the next class or whether they will be failed, retained in the same class. They are all afraid. Okay, so they are in full nervousness. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up the next form and who will be kept back. What is the meaning of kept back? Not passing, that is failed. Half the class is making bets. Gian and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, Cian and Jacques, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bet. From morning to night, it is like, you're going to pass? I am not. You are? Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies. What is the meaning of dummies? The one who are not active in the class, not making any sort of preparation, not studying, not doing well in studies. A quarter about the class should be kept back, but the teachers are almost the most unpredictable creatures, and that she gives a very strong comment that the teachers are unpredictable. That the one whom we think that is cannot be passed will be passed, and those who we feel is passing may even be contained as fail. So she says them as unpredictable. Okay, I'm not so very worried about my girlfriends and myself. Okay, we'll make it. We'll make it means what? We will be able to pass the examination without any doubt or any sort of difficulty. We would be able to clear the examination. We would be promoted to the next examination. That is the meaning of we'll make it. The only subject I'm not sure about is maths. Anyway, all we can do is to wait. Why? Because the result will be announced the following day. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. I get along pretty well with all my sub teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. My Mr. Keesing, the old fogey, who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. Old fogey means old fashioned person. The one who is very strict, who never allowed me to talk because I am a talkative girl. And what does he? He doesn't. He he is annoyed with me means what? He gets angry with me. Why? Because I talked so much in the class. After several warnings, not one time, 2 times, several warnings, he assigned me extra homework. An essay on the subject, a chatterbox. What is the topic? A chatterbox. A chatterbox? What can you write about that? I would worry about that later. I decided to jot down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. Tried. Okay. That evening, after I finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about the subject which, while chewing the tip of my fountain pen, anyone could be ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. But the trick was to come up with a convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking. So what she wanted to do is she wanted to prove the necessity of talking. I thought and suddenly got an idea. I wrote for 3 pages. Mr. Casing had assigned me and was which Casing has assigned me. What is the topic, children? A chatterbox. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. You can see the classroom. Yes. But I would never be able to cure myself of the habit since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there is much can do about the inherited traits, and this is much to do with the inherited traits. Okay. Mr. Keesing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me the second essay. This time I am supposed to write on an incorrigible. Incorrigible means what? The one which cannot be corrected. An incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Minister Keesing had nothing to complain about for the 2 weeks whole lesson. However, during the third, he finally had enough. Annie Frank and punishment for talking in the class. Write an essay entitled Quack Quack Quack, said Mistress Chatterbox. The whole class roared. I had to laugh too, though I had nearly exhausted my ingenuity, originality, and invention time on the topic of chatterboxes. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sane, who was good in poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning and end it in a verse, and I jumped with joy. Mr. Keesing was trying to play a joke on me with his ridiculous subject, but I would make a sure joke was on him. And I finished my poem, and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and the father swan, and three baby ducklings who were bitten to death by a father because he quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Keesing took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, okay, adding his own comments and to several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On contrary, Mr. Keesing always makes jokes these days. Before he was little what serious, but now he has become very jovial. He started making jokes. Okay, yours Annie. Extracted from the Diary of the Young Girl with slight adaptation. Why was Mr. K annoyed with Nanny? She was talking in the class always. What did he ask her to do? Write it about essay on a chatterbox. How did Annie justify her being the chatterbox in her essay? Because it is a trait. Her mother also talks a lot, so such inherited traits cannot be changed easily. Do you think Mr. Kissing was a strict teacher? Of course. Because after the second warning also she did not, she made her write another thing. What made Mr. Kissing allow Annie to talk in the class? The third time when he got, yeah, the punishment was Chatterbox, quack, 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 Mrs. Chatterbox. Is it not? So she was asked to write, and the entire class started laughing at it, including Annie. But Annie has already written all the things which she had in her creativity and everything, and her friend Sane helped her to write it in the poetic form. And so they started in the prose and ended with a poem. It was the story of the swan and the duck with the three ducklings, and how the poem went. Everybody laughed. From that onwards, he did not assign any task to Anne. Is it not? Was Anne right when she said that the world would not be interested in using a 13-year-old girl? Because why she meant so is there was nothing interesting happening in their lives. That is why she felt it will not be music. There is nothing to write something interesting in their lives and about their family details. It may not be so very interesting for the reader. Yes, there are some examples the diary or journal entries in which read before section. Compare them with that, with what Annie writes in her diary. What language was the diary originally written in? It was written in Dutch. In what way Annie's diary is different? Usually, children write about the happenings, what all has happened on the day. Here, she gives a brief sketch of her own family, and she considers her kitty as her own friend. Okay, to whom she can express all her feelings, inner feelings, and she says that paper has more patience than people, men, human. Why does Anna gives a brief sketch about her? So that the reader will get clarity when he or she reads her diary. Does she treat Kitty as an insider or an outsider? Insider as well as an outsider. Insider because of all her thing she wanted to explain whatever she has in her mind and heart she wanted to express, so it's an insider. How does Anne feel about her father, grandmother, Mrs. Cuperes, and Mr. Keesing? What do these tell about her? See, father, she loving father, grandmother, she loved her, Mr. Cuperes. She could not bear her Mrs. Cuperes. They when she was in sixth grade when she was about to leave, she could not bear. It was all with tears. The separation was full of tears, and Mr. Keesing, which was really difficult in the initial, but later on it became different. She is what does these tell? She is a child who is able to understand the emotions, who is very loving, who is caring, who is able to get along with many people and able to distinguish their love. They were able to understand their love and affection. What was her first essay? Chatterbox. A chatterbox. Look at the following words: headmistress, long awaited, homework, notebook, stiff backed, outburst. These words are compound words. They are made up of two or more words. Headmistress, homework, notebook, outburst. Adjective, long awaited, stiff backed. Verb, sleepwalk, babysit. Match the compound words A and that and the B. Heartbreaking, homesick, homesick, blockhead, law abiding, overdue, daydream, breakdown, output. Look at the words that are there in the side. Obeying and respecting the law, things that think about pleasant things, forgetting about the present. Something produced by a person, machine, or organization. Producing great sadness. Producing great sadness. An occasion when vehicles, machines stop working. An informal way in which stupid person. Missing home and family very much. Do something in an excessive degree. Okay. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, what is it? Which produces great sadness. Yes. Homesick. Missing home and family very much. Blockhead. An informal way in which means very stupid person. What is law abiding? Obeying and respecting the law. What is overdue? Something you do excessive degree. Daydream. Daydream means what? Think about pleasant thing, forgetting about the present. Okay. Breakdown means what? The occasion when vehicles or machines stop working. Output means what? Something produced. Machine organization is called output. Okay. So look at the words heartbreaking, homesick, blockhead, law abiding, overdue, daydream, breakdown, output. Okay. So heartbreaking is producing great sadness. Homesick, occasion, missing home and family. Blockhead is the one which is just stupid. Informal way of telling stupid. Law abiding is obeying the respecting the law. Overdo is to do something excessive degree. Daydream, think of about pleasant things, forgetting about the present. Breakdown, an occasion when vehicles, machines stop working. Output, occasion, the something produced by a person, machine, or organization. Okay. A phrasal verb is a phrase of verb followed by a preposition or an adverb. Its meaning is often different from the meanings of its parts. Compare the meanings of the verbs get on, run away. Okay, she got on at Ograb when the bus stopped for breakfast. Devanand ran away from the home when he was a teenager. She she's eager to get on in life. The visitors ran away with the match. Okay. Here I stop. Please read and come in the next class. Thank you, children.